people are calling it the greatest women's health care initiative in decades, while others believe it violates their religious rights. I'm Bonnie Schneider, and I'll have a look at the Affordable Care Act that goes into effect today, coming up on 11 Alive News.
For a woman with any kind of private health insurance, well, there is a new mandate that starts today, and it will have a big impact on you. It's become a big debate, so we want to make sure we bring you both sides this morning. As 11 Alive's Bonnie Schneider reports, some say new coverage for a variety of women's health services will save money. Others believe it's immoral.
Birth control, all that stuff is really expensive, and it's stuff that you need to get. So I'm really glad that that's actually happening.
Young women like Elodie Westover and Mandy Armand are thrilled that as of today, no insurance copay is required for many women's health services thanks to the Affordable Care Act.
I think that's great. Anything that saves me money in healthcare is awesome.
Kay Scott of Planned Parenthood calls the new mandate the greatest advance for women's health in a generation.
For the first time, we won't have to pay more than men. Women have been discriminated against and have had to pay more just because we're women for basic health care. So this kind of levels that playing field.
It's not just birth control that's now covered. There will be no out-of-pocket expense for services like breastfeeding support, testing for HIV and HPV, and even domestic violence counseling. Not everyone thinks the Affordable Care Act is good news. Here at the Archdiocese of Atlanta, there's particular concern that as of August 1st, most private health insurance companies nationwide will now cover contraception.
That's sometimes not understood by people. It's contraception and sterilization procedures. This is about people of conscience being forced to pay for something that they are morally objecting to.
Here in Georgia, religious employers will not be required to pay for contraceptive coverage. To find out more on how the new mandate will affect you, check with your insurance provider. Bonnie Schneider, 11 Alive News.
Students who rely on the Hope Scholarship could benefit even more from the Powerball. The question is, will they? 11 Alive's Bonnie Schneider joins us now from Northeast Atlanta with more on that. Bonnie?
Hi, Brenda. We are at a gas station where people are buying lots of lottery tickets, hoping that they will win $212 million. But with this stakes so high, we wanted to take a look on how all of this will impact the Hope Scholarship.
Big stakes today.
Georgia student Marshall Dawkins is playing the Powerball. He's also a recipient of the Hope Scholarship that the lottery supports.
My parents love it right now.
Lottery ticket prices doubled in cost since January, from $1 to $2. How did that increase profit? The Georgia Lottery Corporation declined 11 Alive's request for an on-camera interview. They did email this quote. Since Powerball tickets increased from $1 to $2 per play in January, game sales in Georgia through last week were $72.9 million. That brought state profits a 55% increase. Profits didn't double, they say, because other factors impact sales, including Powerball size. Tracy Ireland, spokesperson for the Georgia State Finance Commission, says the higher price ticket does not necessarily impact Hope.
The price of a lottery ticket really doesn't drive what we do. What we do is based on what the lottery provides in revenue.
Ireland says since 2011, the Hope Scholarship shifted how it awards money to students in order to ensure its long-term future. A predetermined amount of financial aid is now given to students rather than the entire tuition. That change, Ireland says, will keep Hope intact.
There will always be a Hope Scholarship program, and it is solid for years out.
Well, since we've been out here, I've been watching people buy lottery tickets, and some of them didn't realize the price had increased by another $1. It didn't stop them, though. Everyone's purchasing tickets hoping to win the $212 million jackpot. Reporting in Atlanta, I'm Bonnie Schneider, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, I wish I had that luck.
Yeah, I know. I talk about lines out the door to get in on.
Walking and biking along 2.5 of the Beltline's eventual 22 miles is easy in some spots and more challenging in others. But it's not possible yet in the Park Drive section near Amsterdam Walk because that area is covered in bamboo and brush. Volunteers spent most of the morning clearing the way.
Bridge all the neighborhoods together, so I think that would be a great thing for Atlanta.
If T-Splost had passed, the project would have wrapped up 5 to 10 years sooner. Despite the lack of additional funding, Beltline Communications Director Etan Davidson says the East Side Trail will open this fall.
What's amazing about it is you can get from Piedmont Park down to Inman Park on foot or on bike faster than you can by car. That's one of the amazing things about the Atlanta Beltline. It connects the city in a whole new way.
Even with only limited construction of the Beltline complete, nearby restaurants are pleasantly surprised by the amount of foot traffic the project is already generating.
We're right on the Beltline, and at this restaurant we've seen impact through increased traffic coming in and folks walking along the paths. We are planning on building a second entrance as the Beltline continues to be developed and having a secondary host stand because it is going to be a significant amount of our business.